Alright, thank you very much for joining me. This is Gulpane, back again just with a very quick review of a Game Boy Advance game that I've been playing fairly recently. And this is The Simpsons, not The Simpsons, The Flintstones. I just played The Simpsons the other day, but this is The Flintstones, and basically, what I thought this would be like is I thought it would be like the NES version, which was actually okay. I thought the Game Boy Advance is far more advanced than the Nintendo Entertainment System, but this one is not great at all. It's very stiff, very pokey, and it's one of those ones where the camera is kind of, it's difficult to describe. The camera sort of jitters around. I've noticed this on a few different Game Boy Advance games. The Donald Duck game, Donald Duck Advanced, sort of has it as well. It's really hard on the eyes. I don't know why they did it like that, because it's very difficult on the eyes. But as kind of games go, the Flintstones game, they seem to kind of have the same formula for most of the Flintstones games, where it's you walk around sort of Bedrock. I'm not a huge Flintstones fan, so I don't really know all of the references that are going on here, but I assume this is all from the TV show. It's amazing how the longevity of the Flintstones. They were still making Flintstones games like in the 2000s, and the cartoon was from the 50s, was it, or the 60s, maybe the 70s. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it's amazing the longevity of it, and it's kind of a testament to the popularity of the actual franchise. But this one, it's very similar to the other Mega Drive, Super Nintendo Flintstone games, where they're sort of 2D platformers. You collect stuff, you hit stuff, and you kind of have to get to the end of the stage. So this sort of 3D platformer it's very old fashioned, from when the Game Boy Advance was around. But a lot of the licensed sort of games, they did kind of use this formula, which I suppose it's like tried and tested. Make a 3D, a 2D platformer instead of like a 3D game, and it's sort of easier. And maybe I don't know, the movie franchises, or a lot of the franchises, more established franchises, they sort of went this route. Some of the games on the Game Boy Advance did it really well, like Lady Sia did it really well, although that one is far more of a sort of Metroidvania style. Well, as much as it can be in a sort of a 2D platformer. But this one is kind of, there's nothing really new here. It's very formulaic. It's just very old fashioned. It's almost a Nintendo Entertainment System, like this particular game, and not what I was expecting at all. Which doesn't really necessarily mean it's a bad thing. If it was, it's not exactly the game I was expecting, but yeah, wasn't very impressed. Probably won't stick this into my DS. Because I don't have a Game Boy Advance. I play all my Game Boy Advance games on a DS, but I probably won't be sticking this into the DS as much as I thought I was going to be, because maybe I'm misremembering, but I just remember the Master System Flintstone, not the Master System, the Nintendo Entertainment System Flintstones being not too bad for a Nintendo Entertainment System game, obviously, and the Mega Drive one, the Super Nintendo, was not being too bad either, in the same vein as like the Tasmanian Devil games or the Looney Tunes games. But yeah, Flintstones Game Boy Advance, it's okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.